mentioned looking at, so say if in that extra pot of money that's not allocated to something, you look at like what are the priorities based on the department.
Right.
So how are those projects identified in terms of which one is a priority?
So that's a very good question, Melissa, around the prioritization of the projects. So again, if you have any ideas, make sure that you involve your managers, because the managers are responsible for helping us with the master list. Once we get the request, we gauge the priority based on direct impact to patient care. So that's always a priority. Or if it means safety for the staff, for example, that's also a higher priority. And then if not one of the list have those impact, then we go by, okay, what's the need, what's the risk, how is it going to improve the process or the workflow of the hospital.
Wellness.
And we also, wellness and HR, we are always putting it higher priority, same with the patient safety. So based on that, if we are not sure, we always go to the management team and talk about it and problem solve together, so that whatever priorities that we established is with consultation to all the departments, and that way we are not off track in terms of what we thought would be a priority versus what you think is a priority.
And I would add to what happens is once they've figured out the priorities and they approach the foundation about funding the priority needs, we have the wish list. So wishlist.brhfoundation.ca has those annual needs on there. And we work together to decide, is this something we need to fundraise for? Is it something we have in the general fund that we can purchase right now? Or is it something that would qualify for a grant? So we work very closely with the hospital as well to apply for grants. So we're looking for all the different resources that we can get money and put it towards the needs that the hospital has. What happens is when we have a general fundraiser that we don't fundraise for specific equipment, what we do is when we see how much money we have, at the end we go back to the hospital and say, okay, what are the current priorities? Has anything changed? Okay, do we have all our grants responses back? What did we get approved? What money is coming towards us? Okay, now let's strategize, knowing the full picture of where the money is within the next 4 or 5 months. So that's why some of our general campaigns don't have a specific item.
Which is helpful.
Yeah.
This is helpful because it allows the hospitals to be able to prioritize and spend the money where we need it the most.
And because priorities change. The wish list is made in your second quarter, or you guys have
March.
You finish your fiscal year, we finalize, we update the wish list. But if we do a fundraiser 5 months later, something might have changed on that priority. So that's why it's a constant re-evolving conversation before we make decisions.